Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Monday, October 2nd. Yes, October. I don't know what day it is now, though, because I can't do the calculations. I think it may be day 62. Is it going to work out that way? It might. I think it does, actually. So, what the heck is going on? A lot has gone on since I talked to you guys on Friday morning. I'm sorry. I debated doing a CarCast this weekend, and then I ended up not, obviously. So, let's catch you up. Nominations were made by Cameron, who is the head of household. We did get to that point. He nominated Felicia and Nicole. His target, initially, he said, was Felicia. Felicia, not Felicia. I got it. Felicia. So, his target was Felicia. Everybody kind of knew it. And then on Saturday came time for the Power Veto competition, which at some point along the line, Felicia heard someone, and I can't remember who, I think it was Blue, tell Cameron that she was not going, if she got to play it, she wasn't going to try to win the Power Veto, right? Which kind of bothered Felicia because basically Blue was saying, I don't want to save Felicia, and Felicia was hoping that Blue would be one of the people to save her. So that kind of upset her. Blue defended it and told Felicia, look, I was just saying that because it was Cameron. I just want to keep him happy. But in reality, she didn't want to win it. She doesn't want to save Felicia. She would rather see Felicia go than, somebody else at this point. Now, all right, we're not going to bother looking it up right now. I cannot remember who were the extra players for Power Veto on Saturday. And frankly, it doesn't matter. Because Cameron won the Power Veto. It was the Scary House competition. They've done it before where they climb through a dark room. They did it last season. They climbed through a really dark setting that they blacked out. They can't see anything. It's goopy. It's messy. It was an Exorcist-themed kind of a thing because the winner also got to take a couple of people, 3 people, to see a movie, The Exorcist, or they got to watch it in the head of household room, I believe. So Cameron won it. I think Nicole was second by 20-some seconds, so she was a close second, but Cameron won it. Now, fast forward, they watched their movie last night. Cameron took Matt and Jag and Blue, I believe. And those are really the 3 people that he's kind of tight with right now, right? And that may play into some of this. They could have had a little discussion while they were waiting to watch the movie. I'm not sure. But Blue and Cameron are kind of playing off like they don't get along, but they're kind of working with each other, kind of. But Cameron also seems to be tightest, appears to be tightest with Matt and Jag. And he, on Saturday night, very late, and I posted a video of this, he proposed to Matt and Jag. I guess he proposed it to Matt first. He'd gotten word from Blue that Corey was going to try to target him, right? And I'm sure he'd already kind of figured some things out. He walked into a conversation in the have-not room that made him feel kind of a little bit, like things are not quite the way they seem. But he proposed to Matt and Jag that he wanted to go after Corey. Blue was kind of suggesting it, I believe, to Cameron to kind of say, hey, that way that frees up America to work more directly with Blue, right? If Blue gets rid of America's showmance, then she's going to be more likely to work with Blue. I mean, we all have motivations here, right? Whatever you tell somebody, maybe you were thinking of for another angle too. So, Cameron proposed this. It was an hour-long conversation Saturday night. I watched the whole damn thing. I summarized bits and pieces of it in a video I posted yesterday. My point of showing it was to show Cameron saying multiple times, whatever you guys do, I want to work with you. I'm going to agree with whatever you want to do. If you say no, then we'll just forget about it. We won't do it this week, going after Corey. In other words, saving Felicia with the Power Veto and nominating, backdooring Corey. That was the whole talk of this talk. Jag is not a fan of it. Matt seemed to be more open to the idea, but Jag was definitely not a fan of it. There was one point, which I included in the video, where Cameron got up to talk. They were in the head of household room. Cameron went out of the head of household room for a second to talk to the people downstairs, and as soon as he stepped out of the room, Jag looked at Matt and said something to the effect of, "We can't let this happen. This can't happen," kind of a thing. And so that's where things happened Saturday night. Sunday, again, more talk, but then there was like 2.5 hours while they watched the movie that the feeds were down. And late Sunday night, it seems like Cameron is backing off the idea of putting up Corey. Now, there are some cries within the community that there's some kind of production manipulation because they want to keep a showmance together because Big Brother loves a showmance. I don't know if that's the case. I think Cameron may be weighing his options and deciding that he wants Jag to be more aligned with him, and Jag has been very hesitant the entire time. So we'll see. And it's totally possible that Cameron's still going to do it, because at that video that I posted, at the very end of that hour-long conversation with Matt and Jag, after they had left the head of household room, Cameron, in one of his few, breaking down the fourth wall, looking at the camera things, looks at the camera, flips out his head of household keys and says, "I can do whatever the blank I want." In other words, I don't have to agree. They don't have to, I don't have to follow what I promised them. I can do it if I want to. But, he keeps saying, "I'll do it no matter what. I will only do it if you agree to it." And then in the end, he goes, "I'll do whatever I want." So will he? Won't he? We'll find out today. Right? We'll find out if Felicia and Nicole are still nominated later this afternoon. Well, then Cameron decided not to go through with it. But if he ends up putting Corey on the block, it could be interesting. Corey versus Nicole. That could be very interesting. Or what if it was Corey versus Felicia? I don't know. I think, though, he was looking at saving Felicia and putting up Corey and having Corey versus Nicole. So, could be interesting, folks. We'll see. Other than that, any other thoughts? I do have other thoughts. Let's talk very briefly about the next season of Big Brother. I posted some information today. I had talked about it a little bit last week, where I saw that someone saying that there might be winter is coming, kind of a hint that there'd be some kind of a Big Brother. But today I did post some additional information in that it certainly does seem like they are looking. I want to say it's going to happen, but it's one of these things. If I say it's going to happen, then it doesn't. Then people say, "Oh, you were wrong." It's like, I've said this before. These things are always in flux. They're always happening. They're looking at doing an all-star season every single season. They just have to get the number of people and the right people. They're always putting out feelers to house guests saying, "Would you be interested? Would you be interested?" That's what they do every year. So house guests hear that. They pass that information on, and people think it's an all-star season because one house guest said they got contacted or whatever. There is definitely, it looks like, going to be some kind of a, quote, winter Big Brother. Now, winter could start in February. It could be a winter-spring Big Brother, which is what they've done in the past. Just bear that in mind. They are also looking at an all-winners season. Now, are they going to be able to put that together? Who knows? That's a tall order. First of all, it's hard enough to get, people to sign up for a more than a couple of weeks version of Big Brother. Even that's tough for people that have, for regular people. But people that have been out of Big Brother for years and have real lives and have carried on with their lives, it's just asking a lot. And so they are looking into it, though. They were seriously looking into it. I'm sure they still are. They have a backup plan. If it doesn't come together, they're reaching out to house guests or potential house guests, people that they had on their radar for next season, for the summer season. They're like, okay, well, what if this doesn't fall together? Hey, we know you've been. These are probably people that have already been through the casting process, almost have made the finals, but didn't get picked. They're going back to them and going like, hey, you know what? Maybe we have a spot for you this year, except for this year maybe in the winter. Would you be available? What is your availability? Again, because people have real lives and they may no longer be available, or they may not be able to swing a winter time, whereas they may have summers available if they're kind of in certain education sector, that kind of thing, or that just the way the timing wouldn't work out. So that's definitely going on. Okay, that's what I know. I know that I believe that from my sources. That is happening. They're looking at it in the winter. Something should come together. The writers may have settled their strikes, but the actors still haven't. So they still are going to need stuff. And so I am expecting a regular kind of season of Big Brother in the, quote, winter. Now, again, could it be a 4-week? I suppose it could be, but that's not what I was hearing. I'm not hearing a very short thing. I'm hearing a longer kind of a thing. But again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just going with what the information I've got, and I don't want to. I hate to, there's things that I like. This is locked in. This is not necessarily locked in. It seems really like it's going to happen though, and that's why I tweeted about it this morning. I'm not just making it up on rumors. There's actual concrete attempts to get this to happen, right? So there you go. How wishy-washy is that? Winter Big Brother, yes. If you consider winter, later winter. And I'm going with the later winter, by the way, on a publicly available source. There is a Twitter account out there that is publicly visible that said last week that made a joke about winter is coming. And I even retweeted it, or else I gave it a little, I acknowledged it with a raised eyebrow kind of a thing in my reply. So I'm not hiding part of that's a publicly available, visible account. Now, but I got other information besides that backs that up. Okay, so it's not just that tweet that I'm going off of. I did get other information that totally indicates that that's what they're working on. So yeah, did I say that well enough? All right. Anything else to talk about? No, I don't think so. I think we're good. I think I've said enough for now, and yeah, we'll see what happens with the power veto today, and then we'll get on with the rest of the week of Big Brother as things flip and flop. Remember, we're at 10. Right? We're almost at half the house guests. We need to get one more house guest out, and then we start the actual jury because it's a 7-person jury. Normally, we'd already be in the jury phase. Big Brother, I think I said 14 was the last time they only had a 7-person jury. So this is new territory for a lot of people. But for old school people that have been watching this show for years, 7 used to be the standard jury, right? All right. With that, I am out of here. You guys have a good Monday. It's a beautiful day here in Indiana, and I will talk to you all tomorrow, or if something exciting really happens, maybe later today. You never know. All right, see you guys. Oh, thank you to all my patrons, as always, for your support. I have to do shout outs this week, and I'm going to. We'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.